Hi guys, welcome back to Panika's Perfect Skills. So today we are gonna discuss about another bedtime story called as The Ugly Duckling. So let's get started. The Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, there was a mother duck who laid clutch of 6 beautiful eggs. One day she looked into her nest in amazement, for there were her 6 small eggs, but lying next to them was another egg that was much, much bigger than the others. That's odd, she thought, and went back to sitting on the nest. Soon, one by one, smaller eggs hatched out, and came out 6 pretty yellow ducklings. Yet the bigger egg, still had not hatched. The mother duck sat on the larger egg for another day and another night. Eventually, the egg cracked out and tumbled the seventh duckling. But this one was very different. He was big, was scurfy gray, feathers and large brown feet. You do look different from my other chicks, exclaimed the mother duck. But never mind, I'm sure you've got a heart of gold. And she cuddled him to her and with all the other ducklings. Sure enough, he was very sweet natured and happily alongside and played well with other ducklings. See, we can see that he's enjoying over there. One day, the mother duck led her ducklings down to the river to learn to swim. One by one, they jumped into the water and splashed about. But when the big gray duckling leaped into the water, he swam beautifully. He could swim faster and further than any of his brothers and sisters. The other ducklings were jealous and began to resent him. You're a big, ugly duckling, they hissed at him. You don't belong here. And when their mother was looking, they chased him there right away. The ugly duckling felt very sad as he waddled away across the fields. I know I'm not fluffy and golden like my brothers and sisters, he said to himself. I may have scarfy hair feathers and big brown feet, but I'm just as good as they are, and I am better at swimming. He sat down under a bush and started crying. Just then he heard a troubling noise. Uh, yes. Then crack, crack, crack. It was the sound of a gun. There were men out there shooting ducks. There were men out there shooting ducks. Then, only a short way from where he was hiding, a dog rushed past him, sniffing the ground. The ugly duckling did not dare to move. He stayed under the bush until it was dark, and only then he felt it was safe to come out. He set off not knowing which way he was going until eventually, through the darkness, he saw a light shining. The light came from a cozy looking cottage. The ugly duckling looked inside courteously. He could see a fire burning in the hearth, and sitting by the fire was an old woman and with a hen and a cat. Come in, little duckling, said the woman. You are welcome to stay here. For now, I can have ducks' eggs each day as well as hens' eggs. The ugly duckling was glad to warm himself by the fire. When the old lady had gone to bed, The hen and the cat cornered the duckling. Can you lay eggs? Inquired the hen. No, replied the duckling. Can you hatch mice? Demanded the cat. No, replied the miserable duckling. Well, you're no use then, are you? They sneered. The next day the woman scolded the duckling. You've been here a whole day and not one egg? You're no use, are you? So the duckling waddled off out of the cottage. I know when I'm not wanted, he said to himself mournfully. He wandered along for a very long time until at last he reached a lake where he could live without anyone to bother him. He lived on the lake for many months. Gradually, the days got shorter and the nights got longer. The winter blew. The leaves of the trees winter came and weather turned bitter cold. The lake froze over and the ugly duckling shivered under the reeds at the lake's edges. He was desperately cold, hungry, and lonely, but the but had nowhere else to go. So at last spring came. The weather got warmer, and the ice on the lake melted. The ugly duckling felt the sun on his feathers. I think I'll go for a swim, he thought. He swam right out into the middle of the lake, where the water was as clear as a mirror. He looked down at his reflection in the water and stared and stared. Staring back at him was a beautiful white bird with a long, elegant neck. I am not longer any ugly. Why am I not any longer ugly? Well, I was an ugly duckling, he said to himself. But what am I? At that moment, three big white birds, just like himself, flew towards him and landed on the lake. They swam right up to him, and one of them said, You are the most handsome swan that we have ever seen. Would you care to join us? So that's what I am. I am a swan, thought the bird that had been an ugly duckling. I would love to join you, he said to the other swans. Am I really a swan? He asked, not quite believing it could be true. Of course you are, replied the others. Can't you see you're just like us? The three oldest swans became his best friends, and the ugly duckling, that was now a beautiful swan, swam across the lake with them, and there they lived together. He knew that he was one of them and that he would never be lonely again. The end. Thank you for watching, guys. So please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to comment. But so today, that's it for today. Let's meet you in the next video. Bye.